Hello everyone, my name is Infinity and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course the law of attraction. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a story of a woman who was driven by her faith and rewarded by the universe for that faith. In fact, she was rewarded with $112 million. This woman's name is Cynthia Stafford. She won the lottery on Mother's Day, 2007. But her story begins so long before the headlines, the interviews, all of the public media attention. Her story truly begins long before her lottery win, when something equally powerful and life-changing happened to her. Something unlike the lottery win that was terrible and tragic. One of those events so tragic, it seems to just sink down to your gut and sit there for an eternity. This event was the passing of her brother, who passed away because of a fatal accident with an underage drunk driver. What's worse about this situation is her brother left behind 5 souls, 5 children, her nieces and nephews, whose mother was uninvolved in their lives, and now whose father had tragically passed away. These children were facing, inevitably, going into foster care. Now, an average person most likely would have felt sorry for these children, but wouldn't have done anything about it, especially someone in Cynthia's position. I mean, she was single, she had no kids of her own, and she was making income for one person, not for 6. But Cynthia was different. She had a heart of gold and a kind of faith that guides you to make decisions, not always knowing the outcome. So when her nieces and nephews lost their father, Cynthia made a decision that changed her life forever, long before the lottery win. This decision was that she was going to take in her brother's children. Now, you have to understand, when she made this decision, she had no clue how she was going to financially support herself, plus now 5 more children, 5 more mouths to feed. She didn't know how she was going to do it, but she did it anyway. I feel like each of us can relate to this decision that Cynthia made in that moment. We all have moments in our lives where we're on a brink of a decision that feels like being at the top of a cliff. And we're faced with a choice in these moments. We're often completely alone in these times, and we're faced with a decision. Leap into the unknown and have faith that something will catch you, or shrink back into everything you've ever known, into what you consider to be safe and secure. If Cynthia had doubts and uncertainty, which I'm sure she did, as we all do as humans, if she had these uncertainties that didn't show in the moment, she immediately stepped up and took in these children. You would have thought that her main concern taking in these kids would be how to feed them, how to clothe them, and financially provide for them. But at the climax of our story, that didn't end up being what destiny had planned. Even though Cynthia was doing a wonderful job caring for her children, child services took them away from her senselessly. Now, at this moment, I think most of us would have given up. We would tell ourselves, well, we tried to help them, and let them go into foster care and go on with our lives living as a single person, just supporting ourselves. It would have been a lot less responsibility, but Cynthia was just not that type of person. Like I said, she was the type of person that was driven by faith. So on that day, she made a second life-changing decision. That decision was that she was going to get the money to hire a lawyer and get those kids back. Just like with her first decision, she had no idea how this was going to happen. But she was in the habit, had the habit of making decisions from a place of faith and not a place of fear. So from there, Cynthia clearly defined to the universe the exact amount of money she wanted to be able to hire this lawyer, get these kids back, and provide for them the magnificent life that she wanted to provide. That amount of money was $112 million. Now, when asked where she got this number, Cynthia simply said that she meditated and it just popped into her mind. Most of us would look at a number like that and think it was outlandish to imagine that such a large sum of money could come to us completely out of the blue with no plan on how we would go about getting that money. But Cynthia Stafford had the faith to ask for what she truly desired. So she wrote this number on a piece of paper, slept with it under her pillow, and every single night, as these kids were away from her, as I'm sure she was mourning the death of her brother, the loss of her kids, rather than focusing upon that concrete, tragic reality that was unfolding around her, Cynthia went inside her own mind and created a brilliant new reality, a reality in which she had manifested $112 million. She saw herself holding a giant check with her name on it and this exact amount of money. She felt the excitement, the exhilaration, the enthusiasm, the relief. She felt all of this just laying in her bed, still seemingly, by all accounts, stuck in her current reality. What most people don't understand about manifestation is the physical reality can appear to be exactly the same for days, weeks, and sometimes months or years as the energy is shifting. This is exactly what was happening in Cynthia's case, as everything appeared the same on the surface. The kids were still gone. She still didn't have the money to get them back. As all of that concrete reality was the same, so much was happening energetically. And because she didn't fixate back on that concrete reality, but continued to create this new world, continued to get excited about what was coming, because she had that kind of faith that made her desire more real than her current state of being, she did manifest the $112 million. One day, in fact, on Mother's Day, significantly, she got a call from her father, and he was excitedly saying that she needed to check her lottery ticket. When she did, she saw that every number lined up absolutely perfectly with the winning numbers. I can only imagine that moment when you're literally holding in your hand the physical manifestation of the exact thing you've been visualizing month after month. That feeling that Cynthia felt that day is the exact feeling that we are all created to feel as powerful creators of our own reality. Cynthia did manifest a lottery win. In fact, she manifested the exact amount of money she wrote on that piece of paper. I think almost anyone, even someone who didn't believe in the law of attraction, would look at this situation and say it's far too coincidental to be a coincidence. How is it possible that Cynthia would not only win the exact amount of money she visualized, but also win it on Mother's Day, which is so symbolic considering the money was intended to get her kids back? I want to present to you right now that there are no coincidences in our universe. It's all energy. It's all creation. So, what are the key takeaways we can glean from Cynthia Stafford's incredible lottery-winning story? I think the first and most important takeaway is not to limit your vision by your perception of what is possible. Cynthia Stafford allowed herself to truly and clearly define the exact amount of money she desired, even though to any onlooker it would have seemed absolutely outlandish. Don't limit yourself, your goals, your dreams, your vision by what you or the people around you think is possible for you, because the universe can make ways where you see none. Where you see impossibility, the universe can bring in a miracle. A second key takeaway from this story is that when we make a decision, the universe makes a way. There is power in making a definitive decision about something. And thirdly, this kind of goes along with the second point, but when we make these kinds of decisions, it is so vitally important that we're led by our heart, guided by our heart and not our mind. Life doesn't come with an instruction manual, but if it did, it would be to follow the compass of our soul, because our soul always knows the way in every situation, even in the most dire straits. Our soul knows the path forward, and when we follow it, a path is forged before us with every step we take towards our dreams. So if you're listening to this, I would just admonish you, whatever your goal is, whether it's to manifest a lottery win, or to manifest a job, to manifest a specific amount of money or a soulmate, whatever it is, have faith in the new reality you are creating. Find a way to convince yourself of this reality, and it will manifest in your life. My favorite way of convincing the mind of a new reality and bringing about its manifestation is through subliminal affirmations tracks. I'll leave a link in the description box where you can explore our library of over 60 incredibly powerful subliminals. Just by listening to these tracks, you can reprogram your subconscious mind and quickly shift the reality around you. We even have a track specifically designed for winning the lottery. So if you're already a member, I will leave that specific track linked down below. If you're not yet a member of this membership subliminal site, Sound and Soulful, you can try it out completely free with a 7-day free trial. So that will also be in the description box. Whatever your dream, whatever your goal, know that the entire universe is supporting you in every moment, even if no one else is, even if it feels absolutely impossible. If it feels like you'd need a miracle to make your dream happen, then learn to expect a miracle, because they happen all the time. Cynthia Stafford is a powerful creator, but so are you. The miracle that came into her life was amazing, breathtaking. But there's a miracle equally amazing. In fact, thousands upon millions upon an infinite number of miracles in store for you too. My wish for you is that you find a way to believe in your own power and your own worthiness of these coming miracles. Thank you for listening to this podcast. If you'd like to check out our website or Instagram, those will be linked below. I hope you'll consider subscribing to this channel if you resonated with my message. Here on our channel, I am creating a community of powerful creators supporting one another as we move towards our dreams. I hope you have an amazing, wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you again in the next podcast.